In the front of the apartment building still taped off. Police back inside this morning, and the window between the second and third floors that the suspect jumped out of after stabbing the woman and child still broken as investigators try to piece all of this together. Police haven't confirmed any of the names of the 3 people involved in Saturday's double homicide. Sergeant Scott Allard is expected to soon, with autopsies being conducted today. But Nicolette Neely, speaking exclusively, tells us the 19-year-old woman stabbed to death was her cousin Haley Miller. Police telling us they believe Haley was dating the suspect. Saturday night, several people in the apartment building heard Haley screaming, calling 911. Officers rushed over, found the suspect lying on the ground after breaking the window and jumping out. Then police found Haley and a 2-year-old boy dead inside the apartment. Nicolette claiming the child is the son of the suspect, not related to Haley, telling us her cousin leaves behind her own 3-year-old son. Haley was working in healthcare, starting an eyelash business, and was applying to nursing school. She just moved into the Malloy Road apartment. Nicolette describes the moments when she arrived to the crime scene.
The second I got there, he's like, "Are you here to take care of me now, Nicolette, because mommy's gone?" And I didn't know what to say. And then he's like, "When I go back home, mommy's not going to be there. I don't see mommy."
If you're in an apartment complex like that and you hear some type of screaming or things that just don't sound right, is to call us immediately. Let us get there and hopefully we can solve anything before it gets too serious.
Now, the suspect is in the hospital right now, Brian and Irene. He was injured after jumping out of that window behind me. We also know a GoFundMe page has been set up for Haley's family, and especially her 3-year-old son, Jackson. It has already raised more than $16,000.
And today, that man is expected in court. Seen here, 26-year-old Javon Tyrese Fletcher is accused of killing his 19-year-old girlfriend and his 2-year-old son. Police tell us he stabbed both victims before jumping out of a second-floor window. He's being held on a $3 million bond.
And up next.
This never should have happened. This never should have happened. She was an innocent baby.
Another Milwaukee child is lost to gunfire. The victim this time was just 4 years old. Police say that 4-year-old girl died after an incident involving a gun late last night in the city's Old North neighborhood. CBS 58's Catherine Merck spoke with the family about the young girl who lost her life.
Everybody is, of course, devastated. You don't expect something like this to happen to a 4-year-old.
Rashonda Parker says her family was looking to celebrate with her 4-year-old niece, Janadia Little. Instead, they will soon plan a funeral.
Her birthday is March 17th. You know, she was turning 5, so she was so excited to plan her 5th birthday party. She wanted her little blue dress, her little blue shoes, you know, just excited.
The young girl died at Children's Wisconsin from her injuries after a shooting close to 39th and Sheridan at nearly 10 o'clock on Monday night.
Keep firearms away from these innocent babies. This never should have happened.
While police investigate exactly what happened, the family says the girl was under the care of another family member when the child found a gun.
Could you imagine leaving your kid in the care of somebody to babysit them and knowing that you'll never see them again? It's tragedy. You know, it's heartbreaking. It's devastating. That's how we feel.
We shouldn't have a situation where kids and guns are mixed like that.
At an event on Tuesday, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson called the deadly shooting a tragedy.
We've got to work to make sure that folks in this community know that when you've got guns in your homes, that they've got to be secure.
As for this grieving aunt, she wants to make sure other families don't have to face this same kind of loss.
She was definitely, absolutely loved. Keep these guns away from these children, you know, no matter what the situation is.
A 25-year-old and a 41-year-old were arrested in connection to the shooting.
Prayers to this little angel and her family. Let's remember, when we have kids coming over, let's put these firearms up. Little things like this can truly be avoided. And what made this guy want to stab his own child and the woman that he was dating? My guess, she probably told him it was over. She didn't want to be with him anymore. And he did the unthinkable.
Well, the pictures are hard to look at. Police in Pontiac say 3 children were found living alone in deplorable conditions after discovering their mother had abandoned them for years.
Yeah, that's right. The mother has been arrested, but we're told that these kids were actually inside of this house for years, at least since 2021. This is the house behind me that has that orange sticker right there on the window, but we're told these kids were only 12, 13, and 15. Now, authorities, they said that the mom would drop off food from time to time, but she's a 34-year-old woman that's now being held at the Oakland County Jail, with the case now being turned over to the prosecutor for review. We are expecting charges to come in the next few days or so, but the only reason authorities ever stepped in the first place was because the landlord actually called 911. He contacted deputies after not hearing from the mother since about December, and that's what started this welfare check. Take a look at some of this video from inside of the place. We're told that the house was just so unsanitary that evidence techs, they had to wear hazmat suits in order to investigate. Now, we're talking about piles of garbage in rooms as high as 4 feet tall, human feces overflowing in the toilet, and then also the bathtubs. Apparently they were living on that food that people would bring nearby. Even also strangers would sometimes bring that food up to the door. Now, also, we are being told that the mother had not spoken to the 2 girls that were in there for years, but she would go and actually speak to the son from time to time. The kids were not in school. They actually spent their entire time at the home watching TV and then playing video games. The conditions in the house were so bad that the kids had to sleep on the floor, the boy had a mattress, and the girls had to sleep on pizza boxes. So we're actually going to go and hear from Sheriff Michael Bouchard on what these kids are now having to go through, as well as what they now have to bounce back from.
Our first focus is in trying to make sure these kids get what they need to begin the process of moving forward. The second very important part of this is, how did 3 kids fall through the cracks so terribly? How did the community, relatives, the schools, no one knew to reach out to us? How did that happen? And so that's going to be a big part of what I've already directed our investigations to figure out.
This woman hated her kids, and she's where she needs to be, and I hope she be there for a very, 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 very long time to come. Thank you for watching Prime Crime Network, your source for urban and suburban and around the world news. Hit the subscribe, like, and the notification bell